Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to Dixie Belle main page. I'm sorry, I just start this off. Sorry, I've got you guys at a wonky angle. Literally setting up my camera, and I've got a new microphone. So if you can hear me, let me know you can hear me because I'm testing a new microphone. But literally, as I was setting up my to go live and my tripod, my phone holder for my tripod broke. So I have you guys actually sitting on my pegboard on a display peg. I've taken all my brushes off to get you guys up there. And I want to get you guys. Twana, hey girl. Good Bones is on. Repurposeful. Hey Christina. Hey Bug. Hey girl. So it's going to be a little weird tonight, me moving around the camera because this is the best I can do with putting you guys on my pegboard. And so tonight I'm actually going to be using black sand silk on this antique armoire behind me and also Big Mama's butter. At least I hope I can show you all of this because, well, I got to move the camera around now with my hand. It's going to be interesting. So let's go along for the ride, shall we? So this, let me show you the armoire. This is it. If you noticed a couple of weeks, so about 6 weeks ago, I did the big sister to this one, and I did it in the tea rose, and I did the drippy metallic effect using the moonshine metallics in steel magnolia. And so this is the baby. You can tell that this is the baby because the other armoire, when I stood up to it, it was okay, and I'm standing and it's smaller than me. So this one's actually a lot smaller. And so what I'm going to do is I have already Big Mama's buttered 90% of the interior, and it was thirsty. I've never had this happen to me, and you guys who follow me know that I love my Big Mama's butter. I use it on almost everything. Um, Probably overuse Big Mama's butter. Um, but I have never put Big Mama's butter on a piece before and then had it absolutely just soak it in to the point where I haven't even wiped back. So after I do this today, I'm probably going to go over it again until it actually doesn't take anymore and I have to wipe it back. The inside of this was so thirsty and so dry because this is an antique. This one is well over 100 years old. It just soaked that Big Mama's butter in and it's asking for more. So what I wanted to show you on this is that I have already Big Mama's buttered this part of it right here. But if you can see if I can show you guys, right? See, like right there, it's got the scratches. So I'm going to grab my Big Mama's butter and hopefully I can show you guys. I like to use a inexpensive, oh yeah, see where the hardware was, how dry? And with the Big Mama's butter on it, it has absolutely, it erases those marks on the inside and it just conditions that wood. I like to use an inexpensive natural fiber brush for this step because it just gets in there, and I'm not going to mess with one of my really good brushes. So what I do when I'm done with this, let me get this wiped down and I will show you guys that, look here, there is no more marks. And even where the hardware was and it was so dry, it's not dry anymore. And I mean, that wood was almost white. And so that's as easy as Big Mama's butter needs. And this is the, whoops, covered my camera. Told you it was going to be an interesting live, guys. The thing about Big Mama's butter is that Big Mama's butter is not only, it's water repellent, it is also bug repellent. So when I'm doing an armoire or dresser or something like that, this actually repels bugs. So you're not going to have to worry about getting your critters, your little buggies in stuff. So what I do with this when I'm done is I scrape out all of the extra ooey gooey goodness, get as much of it out of my brush as possible, and then I plop it into a plastic baggie and my plastic baggie is labeled Big Mama's Butter Brush. And I have one. This is unscented. I usually make a concoction of my own with my own essential oils. But this one is just the unscented. And so this I keep in my refrigerator because, well, Texas. Big Mama's butter has a very, very low temperature for melting, which is fine because you want it kind of soft when you're brushing it on. But here in Texas, it's so hot, it's melted when I pull it out. My refrigerator is set on Antarctic. I mean, it is freezing in my refrigerator. So just over time, I take it out, and as I'm using it, it's still very hard. And I've had this out of the refrigerator for probably about 4 hours today. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Christina, wait, will it repel me? No, Bug, it's not going to repel you. Stop it. Let's see who else. I just used black sands on my front door. I love it. Now, this is one of the things that I love about black sands is that depending upon your light, depends upon the color that it shows. And so many of you know I've taken several trips to Georgia, and I was with who I call Georgia Jill, and Jill from Not Too Shabby. She's in Albany, Georgia. And in her work area, she has this big, huge glass door. And the sun was setting, and so part of the glass, the sun was coming through, and part was shade. And just the difference in the way the light was hitting it was two different colors. And so that's one of the things I love about black sands is that it depends upon if you put black sands in a very brightly lit, if it's shade, does it change during the day? Because your piece, the color that you're going to see is going to change throughout the day. Black sands is just one of those really, really neat colors, and I love it. So let me get to comments real quick, and then I will jump on to the painting with the black sands. So Tawana girl, hey girl. Dana Perry Ridge is on. Hey Aaron, caught most of your live until disaster hit setting up mine. Tammy Martin, hey girl, she glittered me out. Please, if you know somebody that's interested in Big Mama's butter or silk, tag them in here or glitter me out. I appreciate it. Yeah, Bug did use butter last night. So black sand is the color of silk. Christina calls it chameleon black. Yes, it is a chameleon black. It does change with your lighting, and I love that. I absolutely love it. So do me a favor, type in what your favorite silk color is. Mine is black sands, but type in what your favorite is. So as I'm going to move this so you can see, this piece on the interior actually broke, so I need to replace this. But while I was waiting, I did do one coat of black sands on the side, and so I'm going to be painting the front. So both sides have done one coat of black sands, and if I've got time, I can hit the sides again because they're already ready for a second coat. So I am a notoriously thin painter. And so let's see here. Catherine's from Repurposeful. Yeah, sorry about that. Ooh, what a day. All right. So with silk, I like to use my Scarlet brush. I like it because it is a thicker. Now, I was using this earlier, so what I did was I wrapped it in plastic when I was done. So I didn't have to go and rinse my brush out. So there's a tip for you. You can always just use your plastic wrap and wrap it really tightly. Do not mist your brush. You do not want to use water with your silk. It's not made for that. I actually put my mister bottle in the back room when I'm doing silk just because, well, it's me and I am so used to my chalk mineral paint that I would I've grabbed it and been like, no. Dixie Belle chalk mineral paint loves water. Go for it. Mr. Bottle is your friend with chalk mineral paint, don't do it with silk. That's a no-no. So see if I can get this closer up so you guys can see better. There we go. I am literally working in an area this big right now. So forgive me. I wanted to show you guys the whole thing. So what I like to do is I like to start, let me see, first of all, there you go. I like to start at the top, and I like to do, I kind of tap at the very top, and then I pull down, and I take my brush and I go, and that's why I like the Scarlet. And I like to go in one direction. With silk, you don't want to back brush it. And with chalk mineral paint, you have a longer time to work with it, whereas your silk dries quicker and you don't have the option to mist it. So the thing is, and I have seen on the boards, I was going to say the chalk boards, but you know what I'm talking about, the chalk painting boards, where people say that, you know, the silk has pulled for them or something. And usually that's because they have hit that point where it has dried, and then they've tried to go over and brush it again. And what that is that's pulling the paint. And so I like to go in one direction. And this is just my first coat. I'm going to get into that crease and get over that molding and go all the way down. I might be off camera for a moment. Like I said, I wanted to use my tripod, but it died. So if you are a retailer, please put in your information so people can find you. And if you don't have a local retailer, or if you like ordering online, my affiliate link is up there. My website is glitter2glitter.com. I am based out of Garland, Texas. It's where I have my shop. You can come in and paint with me. And so if you see, I'm going through and I'm doing nice long strokes all the way down, and that is what's going to help you. So also, the silk is very good at leveling. And so what you want to do is you just want to give it time to do its thing. Now, if you put it on and there's lumps and lumps and lumps and lumps, yeah, it's not going to level all that out. But if you've got it pretty well and you do that one long stroke in a straight edge, more than 99.9% of the times, it's going to lay down beautifully. So that is the beauty of silk. And so I'm going to hit this molding right here. And of course, I'm going in, and then I will go back and long lines. That's the thing that I have found with silk, is that to make sure you have plenty on your brush and long lines, long straight lines. That is what I have found the key to silk. Now, if you are like me, I am not accustomed to acrylic painting. I love the chalk painting. And so when silk came out, it was a learning curve for me. But once you crack the code, oh, girl, you got it. You absolutely got it. Let's see here. Trying to get to comments. Can you believe I haven't actually used, you haven't used your Scarlet yet? Oh, girl, you use silk. You need to use your Scarlet, especially on large pieces. It will dramatically make your life easier. The Scarlet for large pieces, especially on tops and pieces that are very big like this, the Scarlet, and you know, I'm a mini girl. I love my mini angle. I'm addicted to my mini angle. When I use silk on big pieces like this, Scarlet, Scarlet, Scarlet. Hey, Derek. All right. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to pop them out. I am Yep, new makeup brush. Twania Lamb says that she's waiting to use her Scarlet. What is it with you guys? You buy these brushes and you don't use them? What is with you guys? Come on. So, oh, I didn't go over this with you guys. Huh. So right here, I have filled this in with Dixie Belle mud. And there's a couple of places on this armoire that needed to be mudded and sanded back just because the top had been cracked over the years. Like I said, this thing's over 100 years old. So we did use some Dixie Belle mud. And if I was going to stain, then what I would do is I would use, on this, I would probably use the brown mud. It comes in white, brown, and black. I would use the brown just to get it. But since I'm painting it, it doesn't matter, especially since I'm painting in the black sands. And so you see just one coat right over that area. It paints beautifully, so you don't have to worry. And like I said, I like to put a little bit thick there and then just pull down. But I like to get my top because I don't want the bead at the top. Y'all know how that goes. You put your paint there, and then what happens is you go to the top, and then the next thing you know, you've got this big bead of paint on the top. So that's the way I get around that. And since it's not playing well with others, since the latch broke, I've got my foot up against it at the bottom. And then I'll just go back. Like I said, and I am a notoriously thin painter, so I always do 2 to 3 coats of silk. I know a lot of painters do it in 1 coat. Some people do it in 2 coats. I know that I will do between 2 and 3 coats on this, just because I'm a notoriously thin painter with the chalk mineral paint, and I am a thin painter when it comes to the silk as well. And that's okay, but I can tell you that you do need to load. I do load my brush more with the silk. I just don't load it as much as other people do. So, and then we're just going to go, like I said, so it's long lines. Make sure your brush is loaded well. And if you're not sure, when silk was first released here in the US, and I got my hands on it, oh my God, it was Christmas when I first got my hands on silk. And I did. I was not exactly sure it was a new product, it was a new thing. So I went and got practice boards and actually used the silk on practice boards until I figured out the best way for it to work for me. And that's another thing, is that people can tell you all day long how to do this and what works for them. But until you get your brush in your hand, I've got friends, furniture artist friends, that they swear by their ovals and their rounds, and I love my mini. I love my mini. Um, Except for when it comes to silk on big pieces and or tops, and on those, I love my Scarlet. Um, the rounds and the ovals aren't comfortable for me. The mini is. So when you find what is comfortable for you, then go with that. Don't let anyone tell you you're doing it wrong, because you're not. You're doing what's comfortable for you. I found that the Scarlet helps me, especially, as many of you know, I've got some medical issues, and so my hands sometimes cramp. And so I've also found that sometimes the mini fits very comfortably in my hand, but I've also found that holding the Scarlet like this in a different position instead of like this is very natural as well. And so if you've got problems with your hands, maybe you've got fibromyalgia, arthritis, find the brush that's comfortable for you. Don't let anyone tell you, you have to use this. No, you don't. Find what's comfortable for you and roll with it. So don't let people tell you that this is the only way. It's not the only way. The way that works for you is what works for you. And don't let anyone tell you differently. And so I'm just going to. And since my camera is at such a wonky angle, I will paint the bottom when I'm off of the live tonight, just so you guys don't have to. And I just put my arm in it. There we go. And I need to get to comments before I move to the next panel. So if you've got any questions, go ahead and pop them in. But you can see how absolutely gorgeous that finish is. And that's just one coat. And it hasn't even done its ooey gooey goodness of laying down yet. So that is one coat. That's it. So I'm going to move this over this way so you guys can see. And then let me get to comments. So Christina from Repurposeful, she says, I use my mini angle when I use my silk or my round brushes. Tammy says, I'm going to have to get me some black sands. That's pretty. I do 2 to 3 coats, and I'm a heavy-handed painter. What's the difference between silk and the chalk mineral paint? I'm a newbie to Dixie Belle. Okay, so the chalk mineral paint loves water. Absolutely adores, loves, soaks it up, loves water. Silk is great for your one color, your bases. Silk is not good for blending. If you want an artistic finish, like a blend, an ombre, something like that, then you would want to use your chalk mineral paint. Silk is great for your clean, one color, one very clean finish. You can always use, once this completely dries and you wanted to use like a stencil, you can stencil them on top of each other once they've dried, but you don't want to combine the two. There are different in the chemical properties between silk and chalk mineral paint. Also, it comes down to color. I have thought to myself, well, you know, I can do this in chalk mineral paint. And then I go, but I love that color of silk. So it really depends upon your project, your color, what finish you're going for, any of that. That's what you want to look at when you're choosing between the chalk mineral paint and the silk. So I'm hoping that that answers your question. If not, let me know. And so, yeah, we're definitely going to have time to go and do this next side, do the second coat. And so there we go. And I'm just giving myself a little area at the top. And then I'm going right to the top and pulling straight down. And that's what I love about the silk, is that, you see, I don't load my brush very much. Let's see here. You can see there's not a lot on there. I'm not a heavy painter. And so I am just pulling in one direction, straight down. And I might go in smaller sections, but at the end, while it's still wet, I am doing that long. And I will even get off to the side. And so I can see if there are any wrinkles or creases in it, or any large ripples. And I am just going in smooth sections down. And there are places, even on this side that I did earlier, that I can see that I went really thin. And that's why I do 2 to 3 coats with the silk. But I do try to go in one direction. And I say try because even I will, it's just habit. But I know what works for me with silk. And so, like I said, I try. And so we're just going to go. Now, for your first coat of silk, it is dry to the touch in 1 hour. And you can redo, like this one has been dry for 2 hours. So you want a minimum of 2 hours to do your second coat after you do your first coat. So it's dry to the touch after an hour, and it's good to go for your second coat in 2 hours. Now, once I do that and I go to my third coat, if I wanted to do a third coat, I would give it at least 4 to 6 hours to dry. Because what happens is every time you put on a layer of paint, you're adding moisture to it. And so if it's not dry, not just dry to the touch, but actually dry, and it's wet underneath, you can still be pulling your paint. So this one has set long enough to where I can do my second coat, and then I will let it set overnight before I come in tomorrow and do my third coat. So I just saw a spot there that I didn't like, and it's still wet enough that I can do that. So this is actually done with one coat, and it's not showing up so much on camera, but I can see it since I'm up close, is that it is thin in a couple of spots. And so that's why I can do my second coat. And again, same thing. And there's a couple of dings that I see that when I went over, I thought I got, and I didn't. So my second coat will get it. And if I need to, I can hit it with a third coat. But like I said, I love my scarlet with silk. Absolutely love my scarlet with silk. So silk right now only comes in 16 ounces. Now, Dixie Belle is getting ready to release some stuff, some sample sizes in a sample kit. I can't wait for those to be released. I think they're releasing on Wednesday. And so very, very excited for that. So if you want to try it, be on the lookout for those at your local retailer. You will be able to get some smaller sizes of silk in limited colors. I think there's 4 colors, 2 of each in the sample kit, 2 different colors. And so I'm excited for that. So a lot of people want to try it. Silk is wonderful for signs and for crafters. Great for kitchen cabinets. Oh my, kitchen and bathroom cabinets. Silk is water repellent. It's got basically a coat of gator hide and boss in it. So absolutely perfect for your cabinets. Perfect for bathrooms. Great for outside. Just so many wonderful things. Let me see if I can, while I'm doing this second coat, I can see my comments. Yeah, silk has a primer. Elizabeth said, it does have a top coat and primer in it. Oh no, Bug says that I think next Friday I'll be using the scarlet. Everybody brace yourself. The scarlet's coming. I'll be there for that. So, all right. Hey, Amber. I see Amber Demakowitz is on. She's in Oklahoma. I know Amber. So, as many of you know, I just got back from my trip to Georgia. And in August 13th, we are leaving to go to Wisconsin. And we will be with Gary and Molly Phillips from Molly's Creations up there. And they will be joining me on my live on August 14th on the Dixie Belle main page. So I will be back August 7th, and I will be on August 14th. And then I believe the 28th with you guys. So let me turn this back around. Eek, it's wet. Okay. So I can grab it from this side because this is the only side that is not wet. There we go. It's good to have one side that's not wet, right? So also this piece, I've got the original hardware. Like I said, it's over 100 years old. And this is the plate and the knob. Let me show you guys this. This is the original plate that came on this. And let me get the screw out the back so I can show you guys. That is the original knob and the original plate for the knob. And so we are going to be using the gemstone mousse in gold on this. And we've got some other plans for this. So if you'd like to follow me on my Litter to Glitter page. I love this hardware. It is so 1920s. See, look at that. So we're going to be using the gemstone mousse in golden gem on this. And we have some other plans for this piece. So go on over and like my page, Litter to Glitter, and you can see how that's going to be coming along. We'll be doing some more on it Tuesday night and some more on it Friday. And you can see those videos on my Litter to Glitter page. And thank you, Amber. Yeah. For those of you that are just checking in, this was probably about 2 months ago. I was 6 to 8 weeks ago. I did a huge armoire, and I did it in the tea rose and did like a drippy metallic on it. It came as their repair, and they're exactly the same, except one is huge and one is little. I mean, this thing's little because when I stood up next to the other one, it was a good 1.5 feet taller than me. Standing next to this one, you can see I'm taller than it. And over the years, they stayed together, and we got both of them. One got a glam punk look. This one is getting a retro 1920s look. Very flapper. Can't wait. So that's our plan for this piece. I will see you guys back in, well, 2 weeks, because I will be back August 7th and August 14th on Saturday night with you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, check out your local retailer, or you're always welcome to drop me a message. Be happy to help you guys. And I will see you guys. I promise the next time I come back, I will have my tripod fixed. So much love to you all. Bye.